PrymalChaos. Hey guys, PrymalChaos here, welcome to the channel. Chinchilla, I've always found to be really magical. I discovered her with Ren, I can't remember if it was chalk outlines, I think it was, in the live versions. And, you know, since then I've done a couple of reactions to her other material, so check them out if you haven't seen them, and also a bunch of Ren stuff as well. I'm going to let you in on a little secret with these guys, Ren and Chinchilla. I find so much more joy in their live performances of their tracks. Like I'll listen to, you know, Ren's Money Game 1, 2, and 3, and you know Jenny and Screech and all that sort of stuff. When I go to listen to the studio versions of them, while they're really beautiful and competent and all that sort of stuff, that maybe it's because I was introduced to the songs in the live fashion. So to me, it's almost like a B version of the things when I get the album tracks for me personally. And please don't take offense to that. I don't want to denigrate anything that either of these two do, but for me, the energy, the beauty for me is in those live performances. And I was really excited to see that this song is a live rendition of this track. Fingers by Chinchilla just really blew me away. The live version of that as well. Just a piano and a voice. It was so beautiful. So I'm excited to get into this one. I believe the song is called 1 to 5. I really don't know. It's like 1:5. So I'm assuming it's like a ratio. Correct me if I'm wrong. Always welcome comments. So anyway, I'm excited to get into this. One day, Chinchilla, if you're watching this, I'd love to interview you and find out what makes you tick and things like that. Because that's what I do here. I try to get under the skin of the artist and figure out what makes them tick. Where does their influence, creativity, all that stuff come from? And a discussion like that would be fantastic. I'd really love to sort of do that. But anyway, enough about that. Let's jump right in. Here we go. This is Chinchilla 1 to 5. I guess, live.
I wish that I could say I can only deal with so much rejection, but that implies I'm gonna leave and I'm too weak, yeah, I'm too weak now.
Oh, man.
I'm hopelessly addicted to the breadcrumbs of your affection. When you send one less kiss than me, it's all I read, it's all I read now. I say I love you, but you only reply 1 out of 5 times.
1 out of 5. Okay, there we go. I feel like I should go back and reintroduce the video. Look, there is, I hate to stop, she's just ramping up and I'll start again. But already, just the initial opening lines, the prosody, the way that she delivers her lines in such a way that just is so poetic musically. You know, there's so much character and depth. She's not trying to perfectly sing the performance, even though she does, but she's just trying to emote through her soul, and it's just coming out of her mouth. You know, that's what it is. But it's not only that's the performance as well. It's the way, like, her eyes interact with you, the viewer, in a way that just, it's not an accident that she starts with a downcast glance, you know, because it's that whole, when it comes back around, it's that human connection, right? When she looks up and stares into your soul. And her fashion, man, come on. All right, here we go. I'm going to start again.
I wish that I could say I can only deal with so much rejection, but that implies I'm gonna leave and I'm too weak, yeah, I'm too weak now. I'm hopelessly addicted to the breadcrumbs of your affection. When you send one less kiss than me, it's all I read, it's all I read now. I say I love you, but you only reply 1 out of 5 times. Like I love you, but I hate you, it's such a fucking fine line. Are you doing it to spite me, oh? Couldn't you say it a little more? Do you really only love sometimes at a ratio of 1 to 5? Is the person I've been fighting for emotionally unavailable? What have we been so divided by? Love me once, I love you back 5 times.
What great lyrics. Goddamn.
I don't know how to keep to my own bare minimum boundaries. I hope you never see the truth, that I would move no more for you now. So I cling on to the secret while you dance in circles around me. we both know I won't make you choose. In case you do, in case I lose now. I say I love you, but you only reply 1 out of 5 times. Like I love you, but I hate you, it's such a fucking fine line. Are you doing it to spite me?
I knew it. I knew it.
Say it a little more. Do you really only love sometimes? At a ratio of 1 to 5 is the person I've been fighting for. Emotionally unavailable. What have we been so divided by? Love me once, I love you back 5 times. So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you. So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you.
5 times. Ah.
So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you. Do you really only love sometimes? Oh. So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you, say I love you. Oh, say I, say I, say I love you. Do you really only love sometimes? Sometimes I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you. Do you really only love sometimes?
Come on. Man, look, as someone who thinks of themselves as a creative person, you know, I produce a lot of music. I don't talk about it much on here because, you know, I'm one of these people where I life gets in the way a lot, and I've released a few things here and there under different names and different, you know, things. But nothing that ever really contributed anything to anyone or made a major splash or anything like that, which is fine with me. I'm cool with that because I can, you know, I like to just get things out, right? And to say that I record music and to say that I achieved something, right? And I don't talk about it a lot on here because a lot of the material I'm working on currently is probably better than a lot of the stuff I've done in the past. I've put more effort into it. To me, it's always me that's the letdown, right? I never put in enough effort. And so when I listen back to things, I sort of question at its core whether it was worth it, because unless you're going to commit to it, you never really get a result you can personally be happy with. And so that's just some background on me to sort of understand the next things I'm going to talk about. When I look at artists like Ren and Chinchilla, and I don't want to diminish her by always comparing her with Ren, but you got to admit that they're very similar in the way that they approach how they produce and release music, particularly with these live clips and things like that. It's a genius idea, and I mean, I don't know if Ren came up with it or if it's been something that people have been doing for a long time. But there's just something to it that's real and it's authentic, and it can only really be done by people who are absolutely true performers, right? Like in their soul. They don't make mistakes because they commit and they know exactly what they're doing and they practice and do all this. But at the heart of this, the thing that breaks my heart when I watch stuff like this is how do these people continue to just kick goals? Like everything they release is better than the last thing they did. You know, in my world, you know, most artists are good for maybe 2 or 3 albums, possibly one good album. And then everything after that, it just lacks that heart and that hunger and that soul, right? But, you know, with like Chinchilla, she sings from the heart. All of her stuff is always about like that broken-hearted, jilted kind of angstiness, which is cool. because it's a massive pool to draw from, especially if you're someone who's been hurt, right? She has the market cornered on that energy of like taking the punishment and resolving it within yourself. That seems to be kind of that's her niche, right? But just when I look at something like this, as with the background that I explained earlier, this is confidence. This is self-worth. This is self-esteem. This is understanding your limits and who you are, and it's boundary pushing. Because a lot of artists out there, particularly ones that are in a much higher position than Chinchilla might be currently, would never do something like this. Not live, not without a safety net. I mean, don't get me wrong, they probably did 30 takes of this. That's fine. But even the fact that out of 30 takes, you can get one really impressive live performance from beginning to end that's flawless in every regard is just mind-boggling as well. It's a single camera shot. There's nowhere to hide. There's no editing. There's no cutting around. We'll fix that in post. I mean, there's every chance they can tune things in post. Everybody's got different microphones. They can do things. They can melodyne it. But I just don't think that's what's happening here, and I don't think that's in the spirit of what this is. It is human. It is real. It's as real as it gets with, if you want to understand who Chinchilla is, this is it. This is how it works, right? When it panned out and I saw that because immediately those beautiful vocals come in and I got kind of like a gospel feel. And I was like, I hope that's not a track. I hope that's real people. And sure enough, they pan out. And I love the way that they've arranged it. So there's contrast there where she's all in black and red, I guess. I'm colorblind, as you all know. And then everybody else is whited out to just be background performers. But the fact that they're there still matters. It's just as important. That's a deliberate choice as well. They could have easily just not been in the shot. Plenty of music videos are just the singer doing something, or whatever. I think as viewers, we all understand how important the sum of all the parts are, and the fact that everybody's represented here is beautiful as well. But it also makes you feel like I'm watching a live performance. This is somebody expressing themselves artistically with their band of merry, musicians there to sort of deliver at an elite level as much as they are. I don't know what to say. I've got a song that's currently in the works called Sweet Thing that's in a similar vibe to this, right? It's at the moment how I've produced it is just guitar and a female vocal, possibly a harmony. And it's I'm just not sure what direction to take it in. Watching this, because I had ideas. I'm like, the guitar and vocals, it's sort of boring. It doesn't work as far as modern people's attention spans. I was questioning whether or not I needed to put some drum loops in there or something to modernize it. And having seen this, I just don't think it's necessary. As long as the performance is true and the elements that are put together are as elite as you can make them, people will understand. They'll get it. Because I just watch this and I get it. So not only is Chinchilla out there kicking goals and, just climbing the ladder and doing everything she can and having no shame about how she's self-promoting, and I love that as well. It's all about attitude and stuff, and she's doing all of this stuff, but she's also influencing people like myself to be better. That's worth $1 million. That's what it's all about. That's being inspirational. That's being... I never would have thought that, like, if somebody asked me my influences, I would say Chinchilla as a 46-year-old man living in Australia who's predominantly grown up on rock and metal. It's an unusual thing to say, but boy, this is just how influential and talented some of these people are, and Chinchilla's right there at the top of the pile. So, man, I'm really impressed. I occasionally flip through Instagram and stuff, and I've seen her obviously in this outfit, and I wasn't sure what it was in relation to. Until I saw the thumbnail for the video, I kind of got an idea. But I think I remember I glanced at a video where she explained the concept of being a fly. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it was because I must have been somewhere I couldn't hear properly, so I swiped past. Let's talk a little bit. I've waffled on a lot, but just quickly, let's sort of sum up what I take away from what the song's about and its motivation. And it's that feeling of this lopsided relationship where you're giving everything and you're giving 100% of your heart, and you know, they're not really reciprocating the way they could, but it's just this 1/5, this 1 out of 5 that's just tantalizing enough for you to feel like they care, but really they don't. And if I had to say anything to Chinchilla, if this is based on a reality, then you need to find somebody better, you know. And I think that's a message to anybody who's in a relationship like that, is this is your notification popping up on your phone to tell you to move on. But I mean, it's a beautiful sentiment because it's this fractured, broken, emotional turmoil that you can find yourself in a dark place where you think you've got everything figured out. You've got your relationship, you might be living together, you might be this or that, but then you come to this realization that you're the one doing all the work. And that's dark, you know? And I mean, maybe that makes you feel low. Maybe that makes you feel like an annoyance. Maybe that makes you feel like a fly. And I guess maybe that's where it comes from. I don't know. But what a beautiful performance. This would be at home just as easily at the Grammys. It could have very easily been on a world stage like that. And it's an absolute tragedy that it isn't at this point. But that's not to say in 12 months' time it won't be. Anyway, that's enough out of me. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Please feel free to share this and in any forums and stuff like that. It always really helps. But, you know, if you feel like I brought you today, feel free to support the channel just by buying me a coffee. I'll leave a link in the description. Or, you know, like, share, follow, subscribe. Like I said, something like 90% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So, yeah, take this as your notice to click that button, hit the bell. Like I said, there won't be as many videos popping up as often. So, you know, don't forget about me. I'm still around. Anyway, thanks again, guys. I appreciate every one of you. Stay primal. I'll catch you on the next one.